Going on, everybody? Rajay back in the house. What is happening? Happy Thursday to you kiddos all out there in YouTube land. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Tonight, I am actually, at this point, rolling solo. So may have Todd in here in a little bit, and he's actually out running some things right now. So we'll see if we get him in, depending on how long I go tonight. But happy Thursday to you all, and welcome to what is the new, as I switch things up for 2021, Toss One Back Thursday. That's the new name of the broadcast here on Thursday night. So if you got them, crack them open. Let's talk about them. Let's share them. I've got a couple beers here. I've got a whiskey as well. And so we'll see where I end up going tonight. Shout out to the people in the chat. Hans, it's been a while, my friend. Where you been, son? Where you been? Living that Florida life down there in Miami. Good to see you, brother. Welcome back to the channel, of course. Got Vanessa in the house. What is going on, Vanessa? Cheers. Hopefully you're not too cold up there in Connecticut. I think you guys already got snow and stuff up there. We are actually under snowed where I'm at in the Cincinnati area, which is pretty cool. I'm not saying I hate snow, but when you're older and you have to drive and deal with it, it's not as much fun to be out in the snow as it was when you were a kid and you were basically just having to go to school and you got out of school, which nowadays, if you're a kid, you still kind of get screwed in that regard because everybody's at school at home for the most part, right? So you don't get a school day anymore. So that's kind of interesting. What is going on? Wayne's Beer Delivery in the house. Cheers, my friend. Good to see you as well. Hopefully you're also having a great Thursday. And if you guys don't know Wayne's Beer Delivery, check out Wayne's as well. A newer channel here. Another great beer channel to take a look at. We got Gilbert in the house. What's going on, Gilbert? Who's happy his Packers are now in the NFC Championship. Rodgers against Brady. Could be an interesting matchup this weekend, folks. And for you Chiefs fans out there, I heard today that your quarterback is also looks to be good to go for Sunday. So JV will be happy about that. That's one individual. I know they'll be rooting for the Chiefs. And then Wayne also said cheers there too. And then we got Daryl saying cheers. Good to see you as well, my friend. Cheers, Daryl. Hopefully you're also having a happy Thursday night and things are getting ready to roll toward the weekend. And Daryl also says cheers to the chat. So I'm going to crack a beer open here. And this is actually one that I picked up a while ago that I pulled from the cellar. And this is going to be one that I won't have a full review up on unless I decide to pull from here. And the reason being, this is the Boulevard Barrel Quad. As you can see here, barrel aged bourbon barrel quad. Comes in with an ABV of 11.2%, 26 IBUs. The reason I'm not doing a review on it separately is because I don't do a review if they put the date on the bottle and the brewers want you to actually drink a beer by a certain time. So on this bottle, which I don't know why it's such a short period of time, they had actually put a date. They wanted you to have it and enjoy it by January 16th of 2020. Now, we're obviously in January 21, but this is a style that you can cellar and age. So unless there was a concern about maybe some of the barreling fading a little bit, it should be good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and check it out, and this will be just one I pulled from the cellar and see how it actually did. It's a great little experiment that you can actually do with beers as well to really see how they last. Drink them after the time you're supposed to drink them and see how they actually hold up. Got to get the good old bottle opener right there that I got from Oktoberfest. Hey, eyes are up here. Eyes are up here. Let me look in there. Let's get this baby open. Put it into a nice snifter glass. I'm going to let this baby settle here for a second. I see you there, dog. We got DD in the house. Double D in the house. What's going on, my friend? Cheers to you as well. Down there in North Kakalaka. Hopefully you're having a great Thursday night as well. How's the golf game going? I know you've been out golfing, so hopefully you're doing well there. And only golf I'm doing is on the PS4 right now, 2K21, which is a pretty damn addicting game if you like to play golf games for sure. And this pour came out of this one a little bit more heady than I actually wanted it to be, but that's all right. Pour it like you're supposed to pour it. If that happens, that happens. Ooh, nice aroma. Still getting a bourbon coming out of it. It's got that yeast sensation coming out, just like a quad would have as well. A little bit of that funkiness that you get from some of the Belgian styles that's in play. But yeah, I'm going to crack that down my throat here in a second. Didi says, the Bourbon Count 2018, it took me 3 days to drink it and 2 Cubans. How did it take you 3 days to drink it? Did you have a crowler of it? Because you don't tell me you nursed one bottle of that thing. I've actually got I got 3 from 2020. I've got 2, I think, from 20, or maybe just 1 now I got for 2019 still. I think the other ones I actually did drink. I do have a special Rogue anniversary one down there I haven't drank as well, which I need to crack that baby open. I know a lot of people cracked open some of their Bourbon County earlier this week for certain reasons. So, Andrew in the house. Cheers, my friend. Good to see you, brother. Happy Thursday to you. Welcome in. And if you guys, like I said, if you're drinking some stuff, make sure you let me know in the comments what you guys are also enjoying. First time to the channel, make sure hit that subscribe if you want to see more of the videos and notification bell and all that stuff. Thursday night is kind of just an open chat where I get to talk with all you guys here, share some of the beers I'm drinking, see what you guys are up to. Let me know some of the things that you want me to take a look at for beers or questions you may have, and then share a little bit of other stuff here. We have a little bit of fun here on Thursday night usually. That's just how we get down.
Hell yeah!
And let's see here. And we got, Didi said, golf today and tea time for tomorrow is set at 10:30. Got a rough life, my friend. A rough life. When I grow up, I want to be like Dr. Didi, that's for sure. Oh, that's awesome. Hopefully you got some great weather down there. I haven't heard too much of anything like toward snow, because when it snows in North Carolina, everything gets shut down. I mean, you can't golf anyway in the snow, but it's just a mess down there the times you have had it that I've heard about. And at some point, I want to get back down to Charlotte, although the next North Carolina city I think I'm going to go to, I'm going to try to go there by spring, is Asheville, North Carolina. I'm long overdue to get to Asheville, get a nice little cabin, and get a good beer, because they got a lot in Nashville. Every day is a great day to crack one open. I agree. So what are you drinking there, Wayne? Do you have anything you're drinking at this point? I'm going back and forth between beer and water right now. Got to make sure you stay hydrated. Yes, I did. Poured like a 5W20 oil just as dark. Come on, man. We got to step you up. We got to get you through a Bourbon County style. Shouldn't be anything to knock you down. I mean, you should be good to go. Dale Sales in the house. What is going on? Cheers, my friend.
Welcome.
Good to see you. Happy Thursday to you. If you're drinking something, let us know what you're drinking as well. For those of you that just came in that may have missed it, I am drinking the Bourbon Barrel Quad from Boulevard Brewing out of Missouri. If you guys ever get a chance to see Boulevard, definitely recommend them. They have some pretty good beers. I do have some reviews upcoming from the beers I've had from them, but these 2 that I'll have tonight at least are going to be ones without a review there, just so I pulled them from the cellar and they're past that date. This one has a nice little effervescent pop to it, kind of like that little bit of a champagne type fizz you get in some of the beers. A lot of people relate that, of course, to the brutes that are out there, but you get it with some of these as well from this style. Nice little fizz on the tongue, a little bit of that tongue prickling, but very smooth. Goes out in the back end, very nice on the finish. Good duration of the flavor. You know, we were talking about cigars there a second ago, Didi. This is one that you can enjoy a nice cigar with too. Put your feet up, kick back. If you're out on the deck grilling, let the grill do its thing while you do yours. A couple weeks ago, I had Bent Paddles Barrel Aged 2020 Double Black on Joe's show. Nice. What did you think of that one? And what do you think of Bent Paddle? Because I've heard of Bent Paddle, but I have not had any beers from them as of yet. So kind of curious. Maybe roll through the way is great in Nashville. Yeah, I'm thinking if I can get down there, maybe that I guess the first weekend in April. because that'll be actually, if I time it just right, that's kind of like our anniversary weekend. And right now we're between two places to check out: Asheville or going to the Red River Gorge, maybe do a little camping type thing. So we'll see how that goes. The wife wants to try camping. I was like, you've never been camping. You say camping, you think cabin, you don't think camping. Like, I think camping, you're out in the tent, sleeping bag, all that kind of stuff. She said, well, we can sleep in the Jeep. Like, I don't know how comfortable it is to sleep in the Jeep. You know, if you're camping, you would be outside, like on the ground, you know, around the fire, all that kind of stuff. But we'll see. I haven't camped in a long time. So, oh, drinking it Truly. Okay, nice. It's funny. At some point, you guys will see me actually, for the first time ever, do a seltzer on this channel. Actually, two seltzers. Now, I'm not going to say they're high-quality seltzers because they're not. It was two of the Four Loko seltzers that I happened to pick up at Jungle Gyms. And you say, Rod, why would you buy Four Loko seltzers? Well, Dee knows the deals. They were two for $1. You're only wasting $1. So I figured I'll give them a shot at some point here. Not expecting to probably finish the whole can just because they're like the big 24 or 25 ounce cans. But I figure, why not pick them up and give them a shot? We'll see. And I have had a couple seltzers I've been okay with. They were like some of our local breweries that have put those out. The one that, what's the one? The Claws. Not a huge fan of the Claws. My wife likes the Claws from time to time, but that one I don't really enjoy. But the ones that we have from our local breweries, Braxton, they actually put some good ones together. And there was somebody else that had a local one that did well. But, you know, just not fully on that seltzer train yet. But a lot of people are. Drinking my Evan Williams bottle and Bond whiskey, aged in my own personal 3-liter whiskey barrel, primed in green spot. Very nice, Joe. That sounds pretty good. I actually got this one here that I might have a sip of as well. This is the Knob Creek 9-year. That comes in Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, 100 proof. So I got this as part of a set that I got previously. So may have a little bit of just a touch. The old CNC song, just a touch of love, just a touch. Vanessa's back in the house. Cheers, Vanessa. Good to see you, my friend. And having a Not My King lager from 13 Stripes here in Taylor, South Carolina. I'm an hour south of Asheville. Oh, nice. Well, you're in a great area for beer too. Then I mean, there's so many good things I've heard about Asheville, and of course, being in kind of doing whatever I'm doing, these beer reviews, all kinds of stuff through the beer community. Asheville is definitely one of those top spots, and the different ones that are down there. I mean, like Wicked Weed. Even though they're under AB and Bev, I would love to check out their brewery because I've heard so many good things about their brewery. But like Highland is one that I've met a couple of their people over the years up here. I want to get down to their brewery and just, you know, get around that area and just enjoy it. So much good beer coming out through that way. And right across from Asheville, I've had people tell me over across the border in Tennessee, up in kind of that northeast area, they have a lot of beers coming out of there now too that are doing some good things. So there'll be a lot of stopping, and I don't know if I'll end up with 58 cases like that story I talked about and the guy that was over in England or whatever, but there'll be a lot of beer in the car coming back. I can guarantee that. These are loaded Vanessa drinking on the Dole, still not blonde, 12% Crusher. Yeah, just a session ale. Session. Yeah, so this one, like I said, for those that missed it, 11.2 on this one here. Very smooth. I tell you, I'm not getting much of the alcohol. Although I get the taste of the bourbon, it doesn't feel overly boozy in any way. It's got a nice, like I said, smoothness to it. It's got a nice little bit, not even really a heavy warmth, just a little bit that is there. Like you can feel it's got a little bit more of a higher value, but it's not like it's coming through. You're not getting anything astringent out of it. It's just very nicely put together from Boulevard. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know why they put that date the way they did. I think I picked this up, I want to say back it was either 2019 or 2018, but I think it was 2019 because, like I said, this said by January 2020. So I think it was 2019 when I got this one, and you could have easily aged this out of probably another year or two with no problem. Camping is best under the stars. Well, it seems like that's the only way to really do it, right? Like if you're going to camp, under the stars is where you actually want to be. Ben Paddle is a Minnesota brewery out of Duluth, 150 miles north of me. It was a very delicious beer. A couple friends are aging there, 2019, 2018 double black. Very nice. Yeah, Minnesota, another state that has some pretty cool beer. Of course, up you get up Minnesota, if you go over to Wisconsin, I mean, Wisconsin, a lot of great beer there too. So many, it's funny, the more you get into the beer game, you find all these different areas you're around. I think that always gets me, like I've been to Minneapolis and I've been to St. Paul. And I didn't know about the beer scene, man, when I was there. I didn't know about the beer scene. I wish I would have known back then when I was up there because I would have cleaned up on some of the beers. So it's funny when you find places. It's like when you watch Diner, Drive-In, and Dives. And you've been to all these different cities and you didn't know these restaurants were there. And then when you're back, you're like, I can't believe I didn't know that was there. And you're like, I'll never get back there again to see that restaurant. It looks so good on TV. So it's kind of like, now I try to plan ahead. Like I watch Diner, Driving, and Dives on Friday and Saturday nights from time to time. And if it's a city that I might be heading out or thinking about, I make note. I got like a thing on Google where you do your Google Maps. You can save lists. I save lists of beer stores. I save lists of breweries. And I'll put lists of restaurants around cities of interest that I might be going to. And then when you get there, you can pop that list and check out some different things. Great little tool if you never checked that out on Google Maps. Padre Island National Seashore is the perfect spot to camp like that. Just lay down by the sand and look up. That sounds nice. Sally sold seashells down by the seashore. Yeah. I haven't been to the shore in a long time. Growing up in South Jersey, we used to go down to the shore in the summers and stuff. But now that I'm in Cincinnati, basically Kentucky, on the border there of Ohio, it's kind of like there's no shore. There's no shore. I want to see this camping thing, if it's real camping, son. Yeah, I mean, if I actually did go camping, I'd have to shoot some video, wouldn't I? So, yeah, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think the more I told her about what it takes to do camping, the more it kind of changed her mind about actually camping and just not going to a cabin instead. So we'll see. Drinking a Crooked Lane Hindsight 2020 Hazy IPA. Very nice. Crooked Lane, I've had their beers. They actually do some good stuff as well. So what do you think about that one, Darryl? How are you enjoying that one, my friend? Ooh, Knob Creek, I'm jealous. Yeah, I haven't had the 9-year version of this. Now, keep in mind, I'm still getting my bourbon game up to speed as well, Joe. Being in Kentucky, the bourbon state, I should know more about bourbon than I actually do, but beer's where my heart is. But I am trying to get more whiskeys and stuff in. I've got some other stuff behind me. I've got let's see here. This is one that some of the whiskey guys had told me to check out. And actually, it was pretty good, as you can see by what's left in the bottle, and that's Larceny. Their small batch was a pretty decent one. And then I picked up this one here, which was kind of interesting. It was part of a set as well. This came with the Knob Creek. It's the Basil Hayden's. So that's kind of interesting in itself as well. My camera's not zooming the right way. It should zoom, but... So this was an interesting one. And then I got like the Southern Comfort 100 proof over there. What else I got? The Jameson Coffee Whiskey, which is really good. I'd actually stopped drinking that one for a bit because I went to do a video and the bottle's almost empty. And then I've got one of the extra lager Jim Beam Black. So just a little bit of whiskey as I try to experiment more. I've also got some wine around here too somewhere. So canvas pole tent with cots is a nice camp. My military 10-man tents are that way. Yeah. I never slept I've been on a cot before, like when I was a Boy Scout back in the day, but when we used to camp, it was sleeping bag on the ground. You were down there, the bugs were down there, the snakes were down there, but that's how you did it. But Of course, when you were a Boy Scout camping, there was always the counselors you had to worry about because they would try to steal all the kids' snacks and stuff. So, speaking of scouts, that time of year, Girl Scouts, Girl Scout cookies, and it's going to be interesting because I think some of them are going online this year with the whole Corona thing. So, the fact that they're going to send to your house or drop off and you can go online and order, I mean, people could be buying like crazy amounts. I know people that freeze the Girl Scout cookies when they get them. So they don't eat them all then, they freeze them and all that stuff. So I may do a video at some point about pairing beer with Girl Scout cookies. I haven't decided yet, but that's something that some people have asked about as well. So we'll see. I do cabin, no camping for me. I like to have solid structure between me and the wildlife. Hey, I'm the same way with you there. You know, that last one I went down to, that I put the little montage together over on the Rod J channel, and that was when we were down in Kentucky. We were in a cabin for that. We had a nice little cabin for that one, which was pretty cool. So, and that's where I shot the videos on the lime lager and something else. I think those were New Belgian beers I shot when I did that video. It's some nice relaxation, but I tell you, growing up in South Jersey, kind of used to, even though we weren't a huge city, we were kind of like that town atmosphere, but we had noises around. Going to the country where it's like dead quiet, that's something you have to get used to. That's not something that is as easy to kick over. Like you would think it'd be so peaceful and quiet, but you start hearing like everything else. Like you hear the crickets and you hear all other noises from animals, and it even makes it a little bit harder to sleep at a point. Camping, not for me. I need electricity, having sleep apnea. Okay, well, yeah, that makes sense. You definitely have to have that. But, I mean, you could camp, but you'd have to have like a generator, I guess, outside to be able to plug into for power or whatever. But, yeah. Actually, at one time, I think when I was younger, sleep apnea is when you kind of catch yourself breathing, I think, in the middle of the night or not breathing, and it pops you out of sleep. I think when I was younger, I actually dealt with some of that. Hey, what's going on, Minx? Welcome. Good to see you.
Welcome.
Happy Thursday to you. Y'all don't know Miss Minx Laura. Check her out as well and her wacky world. Just here, throwing one back, tossing one back here on a Thursday night. How are you doing this evening? Hopefully you're having a great Thursday. And she says, how's everybody else doing there, of course? So this is my carry-ons take care of the wildlife. Camping during hunting season is handy too. Shoot and cook. Well, yeah, I mean, if you know how to shoot and you can cook it, you know, shoot and skin it and then cook it, it's good to go. That's the thing. That's why I said if things are ever crazy, that's why we go to Vanessa. She knows how to do all that stuff. But, you know, a lot of people think you go out there and you shoot your wildlife, but they don't know what to do after. So you got to be able to know how to do that. Probably the easiest thing to do would probably be fishing, I would think, although I heard cleaning fish can also be a pain in the butt. You gotta get the right fish. Some of the ones are so bony, it's like not even worth it. It's like working through crab legs, you know. Sometimes crab legs just aren't worth it. They're just not worth it. All the work you have to do to get the crab meat, or some of the peel and eat shrimp, depending where you're at. Went to New Orleans years ago, and we had ordered peel and eat shrimp, and they meant peel and eat shrimp. Like it came right out of the bay. Antennas were still on it. Everything was still on it. You had to peel all that stuff off. You had to devein it. By the time you got done, you're like, should have just ordered like a crab cake sandwich. You didn't want to go through all that work. I've camped under the stars in the Arctic Circle and Bering Sea. See, that's one of those kind of things that would be kind of a cool thing, like a bucket list type thing. But then I wonder if it sounds better when you say it than actually doing it. Like, how was your experience total in it? Like, was it that enjoyable? Because I know you had to go up there with the military and stuff, but when you think about, was it like something, if you were like not in the military, you would do again? Like it was, you had fun when you did it, or was it kind of like you just had to do it because you had to do it? I must visit a place here called the Sloppy Waffle. See, you hear a name like that, that sounds like a good restaurant to me. The Sloppy Waffle. I can only imagine what they're doing in there with some of those waffles. Hello from Arizona. Great beers here. Yeah, Arizona has some nice beers out there. I don't know how familiar you guys are with Joe D. Joe actually popped by at our channel last week, but Joe He's actually based out of Arizona. So if you get a chance to check out Joe D, he has a lot of the beers that he's picking up from around that area as well. But I've heard some good things out there. Arizona Tourist that comes on, he's actually out there, of course, so he's drinks some of the good beers too. There's just a lot of good places out there with some good beers. I mean, you go to freaking Utah, and Uintah out there makes great beers. Epic Brewing, they make great beers. It's different places have some nice spots for sure. Just opened a Brewprint Scotch Ale. Tasty. I think you can fish this or finish this. Minnesota and Wisconsin, I think between the two states are over 300 microbreweries up here. Summit is the granddaddy of the microbrewery scene of Minnesota. Nice. Yeah, I know, I did the video a while back. Cincinnati was second year in a row was named the best city in the country for beer drinkers. But I think the most beer consumed per capita, I believe, is Minnesota. No, I'm sorry, Wisconsin, not Minnesota, Wisconsin. So they got to have a lot of breweries up there for sure, too. See, Summit is in St. Paul. If I'd have known when I was there, I would have hit up Summit. I didn't know at that time. I didn't know, man. I did not have sexual relations with that woman. Padre Island National Seashore, Bird Isle Basin. Sounds pretty cool. Now, do you guys have bird watching and stuff out there too? Since it's Bird Isle, is it known for having a lot of birds around there? I know some spots people go to because of the bird scenery and everything. Forgot what that's called with the. It's not like a science, but there's groups that they go around and they mark off the different birds they see, and there's a whole bunch of books and stuff too. But that's kind of a peaceful, relaxing activity, right? Just to go watch birds do what they do. Unless it's like the birds in Alfred Hitchcock's movie and they're chasing you, then that wouldn't be fun. CB's in the house. Cheers, my friend. Good to see you. Hopefully you're doing well down there in West Virginia. And I know you're not probably tossing one back, but you might be rolling one up, right? So enjoy, my friend. I'm so ready for the weekend. It was a short week. I had a 3-day weekend. So I started the week on Tuesday, but it was one of those weeks where you felt like you worked every day of the week. I feel like sometimes when you take a day off, you feel penalized when you come back. Like everything's waiting on you. Let's see here. Knob Creek Single Barrel 120 proof is go-to bottle for me. Outstanding bourbon for the $1. Nice. Yeah, Gilbert, if y'all don't know Eric Gilbert, I mean, Gilbert doesn't do anything on his channel as far as doing anything, but he knows great whiskey. So if you guys ever have whiskey questions and you see Eric here, always feel free to pop a question to him because that man knows his whiskeys for sure and is always sharing some good details on everything. Let me see here. Vanessa, hello to CB. Thin mints. Ooh. Well, you got the thin mints, and now they got the Southern Tier has the mint beer to actually match up the thick mint that you get from Southern Tier that you could put with the thin mints to have that quality there. I would say my favorite Girl Scout cookie though, and I didn't get any last year, so it's been a little bit of time. I think it's the Do-si-dos, which are the peanut butter ones. I like the peanut butter ones. There's actually two different peanut butter ones. There's one where you have the two, whatever you say, wafers with the peanut butter in the middle. And there's another one that's a chocolate-covered peanut butter one as well. But I like the ones that are the two wafers with the peanut butter in the middle. But I like the other one second. So I like the peanut butter ones. And I like the lemon cookies. Those are my favorites ones right there. Lincolns, we're looking for your breweries in Minnesota. I believe the same site covers all states. Oh, cool. All right. Chocolate covered mint Oreos should be out soon. Now, Vanessa, she knows her Oreos. Last year, she was trying to get me to get the, what was the one, Vanessa, you were saying? It was not the double stuffed, but the most stuffed Oreo, which I did see. I didn't pick up, unfortunately, though. And by the time I thought about going back to get them, they were already gone. Because at the time, I think one of the best ones they came out with now from Oreo, the chocolate covered marshmallow. I think that's my favorite Oreo at this point. If you guys haven't had it, I would definitely say check it out if you like Oreos. And I feel like it's won over a lot of people because it came out as a, one of those specialty type cookies they do every few months or whatever. But now it's always here. Like it got added to regular rotation. So I know a lot of people dig that one. But the chocolate covered marshmallow is probably my favorite there. I think they had the red velvet. I do like the birthday cake as well. But that one is good. And I do like the peanut butter one for a while. So I'm a peanut butter fan there, as I mentioned. Used to backpack and canoe deep into the Ontario backbrush before hurting the back, thinking about getting back into it. That's kind of cool. I haven't canoed since I was probably about 11 years old. That was when I was in Boy Scouts. We did canoeing and stuff, which is pretty cool. One thing about Boy Scouts, you do learn a lot of good stuff in case you were camping or you had to live off the land and stuff like that as you go up through it. But the reason I got out of it is they took us one year out to Valley Forge in the middle of winter. And it was way too cold. I was like, I can't keep doing this. I was just like, I'm done. We camped for a weekend at Valley Forge because they wanted us to experience how it was when George Washington crossed the Delaware in the winter. Yeah, we didn't need to experience. You could have told us that in the book. You could have shared that with us. We didn't have to go out and actually do it, But the whole boxcar derby and all that kind of stuff, that was all good stuff that you learned there. And some of the other skills. That says hello to Minx. Got Craig in the house. Cheers, brother. Y'all know Kev Beer Reviews. Y'all make sure y'all check out Craig. He is a great beer reviewer from over in England, the UK. One of my longtime friends here on YouTube, so to speak. Always has a great stuff. It's just great stuff happening on his channel and different things. So thanks for chiming in, my brother. I know it's late over there, so great to have you. Fishing at Bird Isle Basin will sustain a large group easily. Crabs, fish, and shrimp. That would be some nice fresh water stuff to have right there as well. If you're getting that fresh crab, the fish, and the shrimp. I talk about like crab legs being a little too much work, but I do love some crab, like crab cakes and all that kind of stuff. That's one of the things, not being on the East Coast, I do miss some of the seafood that you would get. Or if you went up to like Boston, you had like different seafood there. If you went down to Annapolis, you had different seafood there. Great seafood on the East Coast. If you're a seafood fan, try to get to Boston, try to get to Baltimore or Annapolis down in Maryland. Even Delaware, Connecticut, Mass, all those places have just such great seafood down towards Atlantic City and the shore. I'm going to make myself hungry again. Muskies and Northerns, a.k.a. lake sharks, are the boniest fish here in the Midwest. I've actually heard about the muskies before. I've never, I haven't fished. Since last time I went fishing was deep sea fishing, which was down off of Florida. But I have, being here in Kentucky, I have friends that go out and fish around Kentucky or up in Michigan, Indiana, Ohio and stuff. But I've heard muskies before. Are they pretty tasty as well? And how about the Northerns? I do like shark, though. I've had shark before. I do like shark. I like swordfish. Swordfish is one of my favorite fishes to actually enjoy. Chilean sea bass, another good one I like as well. But as far as making fish, I think tilapia and catfish are probably the two easiest to actually make stuff out of. Known as lake sharks due to the rows of teeth they have and how fierce they are in water and on the line. Oh, wow. So they'll fight you there if you try to pull them in. And CB says, oh, the fishing is so good. Yeah. I wouldn't mind going fishing again at some point. Like I said, when we went down to our last cabin trip to Southern Kentucky, there were some places down there, which I wasn't aware of, but you could go and park and you could actually go fishing. There were some people out there fishing, just sitting out there. A couple of the guys had a couple beers next to them, just casting out there. One guy was listening to the game, I think, on the radio, but just a nice peaceful type thing. I need more peaceful type events in my life, probably, so that wouldn't be a bad thing. Coldest place was minus 60 with a 10 heater inside, full blast. Great fun. Your flesh freezes solid under 30 seconds at those temps. You must stay covered and protected. I don't know if I would consider it great fun, though. That's pretty cool. I think in the Arctic, I think of the movie The Thing with Kurt Russell from back in the day. Like, it didn't look warm. I mean, it was cold. I mean, you're in the Arctic, you expect it to be cold, but that looked really cold. Let's see here. Northern pike, you kill as soon as you get them in. Oh, really? Okay. So is it you kill them because you have to do it in a certain amount of time or something? Or like it doesn't go bad, or they kind of kick around the boat? Like, why do you have to kill them as soon as you get them in? I guess, I don't know. Do you kill all the fish when you actually pull them in, though? I remember with deep sea fishing, only one person only caught one fish, and it was a fish that didn't get thrown back. So I know there was a bucket where you put the fish into it, but interesting thing I found out, if you ever watch, this is a show where they collect the crabs over on National Geographic or whatever. I can't think of it now, but they're in the big crab vessels. That if one crab dies in that batch, you have to clear the batch quickly to find the crab that's dead, because when they die, they secrete a poison that affects the other living crabs. It was an interesting fact to find out. So, like, that's why when they pull them up, they got to make sure none of them are dead, because that'll kill the whole crop. So that was something I didn't realize. Like, they actually project a poison out of them when they die. So, Vanessa, we drilled 2K a foot ice cores every day. Every day I'm icing. I feel like I should have said an ice baby line, but I'm not. JV's in the house. Cheers to the chat. Cheers, JV. Good to see you, brother. Cheers, my friend. If you're drinking something, let me know what you're drinking there, JV, as well. And if you just got in, let me know what you're drinking. Just CB's at cheers to Jeremy. I must come for a visit, CB. Lots of fun chatting with you. Yeah, CB's awesome guy. I would love to, hang out with CB as well. If I ever get back down to West Virginia again, we don't go as much now because most of her family has moved out of the state, but great times out of West Virginia. A lot of fun places you can actually do. You always hear about West Virginia being a poor state, but there's a lot of fun activities they actually do around the state. I guess every state kind of has stuff going on, except I had one friend from Nebraska who said that's the worst state. The only thing they have is like the College World Series and Nebraska football. Everything else just sucks the rest of the year. So you go to Nebraska, that might be the one state you want to skip over. JV says, cheers, CB. We got Emerson in the house. What is going on? Emerson, cheers, buddy. Good to see you. Happy Thursday to you. And Wayne says, hey to JV as well. And if you guys don't know Jvs Hangout, another great channel, make sure you check him out there too. And if you guys don't see each other, you don't know their names, they got a YouTube channel, make sure you check them out. A lot of good people here that you'll definitely have a great time. There you go, smoking one for Fifi. Oh, what's up, Wayne? And I'll tell her CB. And live in Northwest Wisconsin for 4 years. Nice. Did you have some cheese? Does everybody have cheese when they're in Wisconsin? Believe it or not, the Wisconsin beer drinking thing is all based on years ago by religion. Got to keep the Catholics away from the Lutherans. You say that, it's funny, when I read that in my head, I thought of like West Side Story, like the Catholics and the Lutherans, like as two different rival gangs. It is the inland side Padre Island off of Corpus Christi. You drive right to the National Seashore and Bird Isle. You're down on the right. Nice. But the Corpus Christi, that's a nice area too. One thing I wouldn't mind doing again is actually skiing. 9th grade, I learned how to ski, and I actually learned how to ski up in Vermont. We went to Stowe and Killington. Great place to learn how to ski, and had a great time doing it. By like the second or third day, I had it down and hadn't skied since then. So I'd like to probably try to ski some point, but I want to make it a fun ski. We have like a little ski slope out where we're at in Indiana, but I would like to go to like back out either Killington or Stowe or somewhere like out in Colorado to do it. Dee said, been a slurry in Minnesota is good, and the brewery is a sight to see. Well, there you go. Represent. Nice. Gerald said, cheers, everybody. Yeah, there's Craig knows. Craig's a brilliant man. Ornithology, bird watching. There you go. Just couldn't get it together. Get it together. Holy cow, that beer came back with. I told you it would come back. I said it'll come back. Give it some time. It'll be back. It kind of screws people up, though, when they're watching the videos now, because they see me here with a beard, they see me not with the beard, and they see me back with the beard. So that's kind of funny. Lots of various wildlife on Padre Island. Yeah, I've seen video and pictures of Padre Island. Nice little place too. The brewery to visit due to the scenery is the Vickers Brewery in Duluth, Minnesota. Nice. Lots of dang finger keeps hitting instead of oh, that can happen. S'mores are my fave. Wait a minute. Is there a Girl Scout s'mores, or you're just saying s'mores in general? Because if there's a Girl Scout s'mores, I'm kind of pissed I never saw that cookie. But I do like s'mores. And I always think of s'mores, and then you always got to think of The Sandlot, because the whole scene with the s'mores is one of the funnier scenes in the movie, which is a movie full of great scenes. I never get too old of watching that movie. That movie cracks me up all the time. Check out my friend Camp Beer Reviews, Vanessa, Daryl, and Dee doing. Yeah, most stuff Oreos, quadruple stuff, regular double stuff, triple stuff is mega, and 4 layers is most stuff. See, Vanessa has it all broken down for you. Now, here's another thing, and Vanessa, you'll be interested in this. I mentioned Joe D's video, his YouTube channel for videos. If you follow Joe D on Instagram, nobody finds more Oreos available than Joe D. He posts pictures of the different Oreos that come out. Like, he must be near a warehouse or something, but he has all different flavors of Oreos he always shares. So you got to check him out, because Vanessa, you want to follow Vanessa, she's Vanessa M. Kitty on Instagram as well. That's where she posts a lot of her stuff. But you need to follow Joe D. JV. And it's mostly Schlitz drinkers in Wisconsin. Are Schlitz drinkers still around? Oh, I do remember the Schlitz beer for sure. Really, Andrew? That's interesting. Well, isn't Schlitz out of that area though? So I mean, they I thought they were out of that area, so it would make sense that there are a lot of Swiss drinkers there. Two Boys are early scoots. My brother was in Scouts years ago. Oh, sorry, Eagle Scouts. I was trying to think. I think that everybody's getting a typing thing taking place there. So Eagle Scouts, gotcha. Yeah, I got out when I was, I want to say it was around like maybe 14 or so. Actually, my mother wanted me to stay in it because, for the experience and all kind of stuff. But I was done, like I said, after the Valley Forest thing or whatever. But I got back into it, not as a scout later on for a few years. Just recently, a few years ago, I actually mentored and worked with the scouts here. Someone that reached out to me about, trying to get more help and helping out scouts. And we working with a lot of the young boys, especially from some of the inner city type areas. So went there, mentored, stuff like that, and did a few things. Never did a camping trip or anything along those lines, but kind of went and did different projects with them and stuff like that. But then work started calling back, and I had to get back out of it. But it was interesting from the mentor standpoint, as far as, I was part of the local board, so to speak, and we would go to the events and we'd help them do like the carving, the archery, all kinds of stuff like that and everything. But just like some of the things you would come across that you don't think about. I mean, as when you're that age, you're dealing with different stuff depending on what your situation is as a kid. And some of these kids didn't have people that have outlets to talk to. So some of the things that you would have to do as a mentor or help out with, or kind of help handle. Like, I had one situation where one kid was being bullied by the other kids, and I had to basically shut it down with these other kids bullying them. And it was like it was a sad type thing to have to deal with, but it's not one of those things you expect to get involved in when you go in, and you just realize you do these things, you never know where you may get pulled a certain direction to have to help someone out. And it was a good feeling being able to help them and help this kid get through the situation he was dealing with and have these other kids, learn to respect others and all that kind of stuff. But it was just something I couldn't do as long. Same thing happened when I coached football. I coached like 8 to 10-year-olds, and it was coaching like kind of in some of the rougher type areas and giving kids the outlet they needed to see other ways they can actually, benefit out of it. So it's not like you're just a coach. You're like a mentor. You're like almost like an authority type figure to them. Like there were some coaches, like when kids got in trouble in school, they wouldn't call the parents, they would call the coach. And some coaches would have to go down to the school and straighten the kids out just because they carry more weight, which is, again, something that's kind of incredible there in itself. But that's away from the beer, so we won't get into that. It's a whole different story. Andrew says hello to Craig. Davey said doing well, working hard no matter what Rod J says or my wife. Oh, I know. I know you are working hard at keeping it in a fairway. Just remember, it's drive for show and putt for dough. Doing good, JV. One more day to go. Yes, one more day to the weekend. Strike is tasty. Yeah, it is actually. And let's see. Daryl, I am ready for the weekend too. And less people, more nature is best camping. Less people, more nature. That's in today's society, that's not a bad idea. So let's see here. So I'm going to open up this next beer. And this is going to be another Boulevard beer. And it's the Plaid Habit. So this is you'll like this, Gilbert. Canadian whiskey barrel-aged Imperial Brown Ale. It was a limited release back in 2019. 12.5% ABV, 13 IBU. There you can see the label on it, the Plaid Habit. So we'll go ahead and check this one out. And this one actually said best by October 9th of 2020. So it's not really anything but like 3 months after that. But again, since it was outside what the brewery would prefer, I just didn't do a full review on it. But I know it's going to probably be pretty tasty. All right. So I had to get into some of the novelty glassware because I have to wash some of the other glasses I have. Bottle cap before I step on it. Oh, maple syrup. It's got that sticky, icky, icky. Not the CB sticky, icky, icky, or the Blake sticky, icky, icky, but the maple syrup sticky, icky, icky. Oh, it smells really good. Get a nice feel of the whiskey coming out, too. Oh. Hot damn. This is really good. You could put this up against the Bourbon County Stout. I mean, it's a brown ale, but it's just got that smoothness to it. That nice flavor is sinking right into the cheek, so it really has a nice, like I said, stickiness to it. Leaving that lasting flavor. Another good one for cigar beer. You don't see a lot of Imperial Brown Ales, so that's kind of nice to see that. A little bit of that nuttiness in the background. Oh, yeah, that's mighty fine. Mighty fine. We'll be all right with that. Let's see here. Angie says, if you get musky or northern following your bait back to the boat, start doing a figure eights with your fishing rod and get in the water and get ready for a close boat catch. Things are feisty. Don't eat musky. Northerners are tasty, but the gill plate is a problem. Oh, okay. See, that's the thing. Like, I wouldn't know all the different fish like you're supposed to eat. That's why I'm always surprised when people do the catch and release. Like, if I fish, I want to try to keep the fish if I can. But obviously, people do it with the trout and stuff and different things. And we actually talk about the Boy Scouts. We had to teach them how to fish at one of the trout lakes and stuff. So they had to throw it back in there too. But I like to fish and keep it if I could. So I'm coming across Shimmy Island was a great fun to watch. Even see a snowstorm traveling horizontal in direction. Wow, well, that would be something different for sure. Deadliest Catch. That's what it was. Deadliest Catch. Baron C. Mike Rose, narrator on Discovery Channel. Yeah. Yeah, that's the one. And like I said, like one crab ends up ruining the whole batch if it dies. If they don't get the other crabs out in time. Been in Minnesota 51 years. Nice. Hence the bar on every corner in Wisconsin. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I thought they were out of there. Deadliest Catch, DD, yeah. Vermont, but it's awesome. Yeah, Vermont was nice. Well, it was a long time since I've been there, but Vermont was very nice. Speaking of Vermont, that Bernie Sanders, he gets everywhere. I keep seeing that guy pop up on Facebook and all kinds of places. Vermont has a great beer culture. They do. They definitely do. Craig said cheers to JV. Girl Scout s'mores. Okay, see, now I got to find these Girl Scout s'mores because I have never seen those before. That has a chance to become a favorite for sure. I enjoy such good s'mores. Real old school drinkers drink hams. See, you said hams, Andrew, and now there's a man that's down in the chat that I'm going to get to who is a spokesman for hams. So I've skied Stowe, Smuggler's Notch is next to Killington Killington is huge. Skied a lot of Vermont. Slopes was at Third X Games. Wow, that's pretty awesome. Third X Game, you're dating yourself there now, DD. DD grew up at J. And so we got Ron Sutton in the house, Mr. Hams himself. Drink a lot of hams, Andrew. He is the hams man. Hey, Ron, have you tried any hard kombucha? I have not. I actually am interested in trying it. I just haven't picked up any or seen it to grab it yet. I figure maybe next time I go to Jungle Gyms, they may actually have it there. I've had regular kombucha. I just haven't got the hard one yet, so I definitely want to try that. Some people are starting to kind of sway that way, I've seen. So seems to have like a nice little tasty following developing. Cool Beans and Jingle, I'm still here in the picture that I had on TV years ago when I was a kid, and the brewery is less than 2 miles from where I live. Nice. Yeah, it's funny, Andrew, because you're probably not that far from me then, since you remember the jingle, and I know Ron is and a few other guys, Dee and stuff, but we grew up as kids where we'd have like commercials and jingles around beer that would be on TV that we would see. And nowadays, I mean, you have like the little Budweiser thing with the horse, but it's not like it used to be back then when it was almost like the beer was being glamorized, right? Like, I guess that's a bad thing to do nowadays. It's just kind of like more of a nostalgia type feel when you see these Budweiser commercials with the Clydesdales or something along those lines. But yeah, we sound like the Strohs and just a different thing. I mean, what was it? Strohs, you had the Slits, you had the Miller Lite, the stuff they would do with that one back and forth, the old Budweiser type thing. I mean, really, Budweiser, up until just after the Frogs or so, kind of always had stuff happening. It's kind of interesting how things have changed over time. They call the Haminator, Andrew. Oh, the Beer Bear rocks. My weekend is today and tomorrow. Hey, well, there you go. So tomorrow's your Saturday and Saturday's your Sunday. Hey, as long as it works. Oh, I like that one. Snowboarding in the Arctic thrilling, I bet. Slits is one of the Milwaukee Brewers. One of the old Milwaukee Brewers. Slits gives you the worst Slits. Then old Milwaukee. Well, you know what? I remember back, I guess it was back in the 90s, they used to do the different taste tests, and old Milwaukee used to actually come out high on the taste tests versus other beers. It was a blind taste test, so people were surprised when they found out they were drinking Old Milwaukee and they were ranking as high as it was. But Old Milwaukee just kind of had a nice feel to it. It was big for fishermen. I know a lot of fishermen like to drink Old Milwaukee when they're out fishing and stuff, so it kind of got that persona with it around it. But yeah, Old Milwaukee was one of those ones that did okay. The sticky of the icky is Rick James. Yeah. Rick James, bitch. I need to make a Rick James beer glass. But the Rick James from Dave Chappelle playing Rick James. Minnesota official fish is the walleye, and there are plenty of angry fiberglass eyes all around Minnesota. I know a lot of people that like walleye too that I've seen that talk about that when they go fishing. I'm lucky enough to get Boulevard, Ontario. Had this one a few years back. Rye on Rye, the Tank 9 of my favorite. Yes. And in fact, I will have the review up on the Rye and Rye at some point. That's one of the ones I did review from Boulevard. Had the Tank 9 before, and I do like the Tank 9 as well. Cheers. We got Paul in the house. PA Brew News. What is going on, brother? Happy Thursday to you. And if you guys don't know PA Brew News, another great beer channel. Me and Paul go back a while now, too. It's funny. You look back over the years, you've been on YouTube and all different people you know over the years. And he always has great stuff happen on his. He does some great reviews on the beers. Unfortunately, last time Paul was up here with Cincinnati, I didn't get a chance to see him with all the Rona stuff, but he was able to find some great beers while he was in town, and definitely say check him out over there in PA. The only seltzer is Alka after too many hams. So I like that one. I like that, Ron. If you're talking seltzer, you must be talking Alka. Let's see. Various beers years ago paid various sports announcers for ads based on games, and announcers will plug the beer that paid them during the games. This was back in the 60s. Yeah. Well, that kind of gets back out of the old payola, like with DJs and stuff too. Like for those of you who don't know, back in college, I was a radio DJ and stuff, and I graduated with journalism. So we studied a lot of that stuff, but the old payola schemes where they would pay stations to play certain things. I mean, that kind of went into advertising and stuff like that too, to get stuff out there. I remember the TV ads for Old Mill, and the ads were geared around. It became the beer for fishermen. If you were like a fisherman, it seemed like Old Milwaukee was the beer you wanted to have there. It was a nice little, I would say like a mellow type beer. It was an easy drinking beer. When you're fishing, you're relaxed. It just went down rather easily. So, and then somehow they were able to get that branding around it that, hey, if you're a fisherman, this is the beer you want to drink. What is going on? We got Roger and Rigor in the house. And his channel, You Do It. You didn't change your channel. You changed your channel name? No, he's over on Facebook right now. So his YouTube channel is You Do It. He does some great stuff there too. Drinking coffee, no beer over here in South Jersey. Taking it easy tonight then. I guess you're not going to bed anytime soon. You're going to be up for a little bit. Or are you like me, like you can drink coffee into the evening and still be fine to go to sleep. Like I can get like a coffee from Dunkin' Donuts around 8, 9 or whatever, and I still be able to go to sleep by 10 or 11. It doesn't really affect me as much. That's fine. I think I just built up a caffeine tolerance just like I did an alcohol tolerance, which are not too bad tolerances to have. Hamm's was the beer of the Twins, White Sox, Cubs. Only beer in 3 parts, very popular at the time. Yeah. And Hamm's is still a decent, if you went like just a adjunct type lager, something easy drinking, Hamm's fits the bill. It's an easy one to do. And plus you get a 30-pack for what, $14.99 or something? Can't beat that. Yeah, cigarette companies did the same as well. One of the funny things that when I was an advertiser that we learned is back in the old movie theaters, when you went to the movie and with advertising, they used to splice in Coke things in the reel. So it was kind of like when you went to a movie, subliminally your eyes would pick up a Coke. It was like see Coke at certain points. And it's funny because when they found out when they did that, people would come out and they wouldn't ask for a soda or they asked for a pop. They would ask for a Coke. It became subliminally into their head, but they would splice the reel up so that you have Coke intermittently in different spots doing that. It's one of those little tricks they did with advertising. Gilbert said, fisherman drank Carling or the old Milwaukee, Ontario. You learn to pack TB for sure. Or you got to dig a deep hole. You got to dig a deep hole, have the TP, because you know where you were. You couldn't trust any leaves, I guess. So now, see, I saw the F on there for the Facebook. So yeah, right now I'm actually on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter at this point. So glad you checked in there with Facebook as well. And taking it easy the other night when I was drinking with you guys, it was affecting me a little bit. So staying away from the beer tonight. Well, we just have fun, and sometimes you get on board to have fun, and we all get off at different stops. So depending where you get off at, but that was a lot of fun. We were doing the question game and stuff like that, and I think we'll get Shannon back on again at some point to do some more to that as well. Carling Red Cap Ale, good memories in Canada, late 70s. There you go. Late 70s, and Ron was heading up the road, probably like in a road runner or some type of car, hair flying in the wind, had the radio jamming, and hams to the side. Well, mine had one of the old school road runners. Those were sweet. Hollywood still does that with product placement during movies if you watch. Well, with the product placement, they do as well. Yeah, I think they made it illegal for them to kind of splice it into the reels. But yeah, they do the product placement on the time all the time on stuff. I shut down, put my Facebook in hibernation. I found I can get more sleep this way. Facebook, I've thought about that at times myself. The main reason, the couple main reasons for Facebook. One is I do keep up with other friends from back in the day and stuff that use Facebook, and new friends as well, and other people like to connect on that. But I run the Facebook page over on Facebook for the beer channel, but I also have a gaming channel page. I have a comedy page. I have like a thinking type page of like controversial type stuff. I have like 6 or 7 different pages over on Facebook, and really I update that more than anything. So it's kind of like you have to keep the main account to have those. But yeah, at times it's kind of like I prefer Twitter myself to Facebook. I like Twitter because you have less characters. You can't get somebody on there like trying to write a manifesto or anything along those lines. You just manifest. I said manifesto. Manifest. You just have 150 or whatever characters. Say what you want to say and move on type situation. So I kind of like Twitter because of that. But I know other people that have gotten off of Facebook as well. So let's see. So what else was I going to get into tonight? I can see it was Todd. Todd might be here in a couple minutes or so. Let's see here. Oh, there was an interesting thing I was going to show here. This was kind of funny. Let me see if I can grab this here. Bear with me for a second, please. Oh, I gotta find it. So here's an interesting thing I saw earlier today. So apparently this neighbor, I mean, I don't know why you would have this in the neighborhood, but the neighbor had tried to do whatever they were doing with the Miller Lite truck and ran into their house. Like, I don't know if you were trying to do a K-turn or what may have happened there, but obviously that's not where you want to go. And had it been like they said a foot or two more over, it would have been like in her bedroom or whatever. But imagine you just sit in the house and a Miller Lite truck just comes pulling in to your house. That's just something I saw today that I thought was kind of crazy, like to see that there. And I was just like, what was this guy doing? And why did that end up happening? But, you know, it was what it was. I thought that was kind of an interesting thing. Why is it always like these companies that are like the macro drivers always having accidents anyway? Like, it's usually if there's a truck wreck somewhere, it's either Miller or Budweiser, it seems, for the most part, that things happen to. Another thing that I saw today, I didn't see this today. I saw this the other day because I shared it on the community tab. If you didn't see it, which I'm like, how do I not know about this, right? So let me go ahead and pull this up. Who knew there's a line of Epstein didn't kill himself insulated coolers being sold out there? I did not know about this. How do I not know about this? I mean, Epstein didn't kill himself. That's my line right there that I share. You got the one mocking the Heineken, the Pats, the Dozekis, the Bud. And I'm not, it's you hate to mock a guy because he died, but then again, he was a bad guy. But at the same time, that's pretty ingenious how they came out with those. So I thought that was pretty hilarious when I saw that on Amazon. So if you want to see more about those, check out the community tab here in the channel. Pretty interesting. And if you're ever looking to find out how to, say, order your beer from anywhere around the world, here's some key phrases you can actually use as well. And whoops, let me go back here. I think I went to the wrong one. Bear with me. Hold on. Something switched here. Let me go back. I'm going to take that and go there. It's tough being your own producer and director and everything else at one time. But if you're looking to learn different phrases, this is also something I put on the community tab. Kind of interesting that you can see different phrases of how people say things around the world to order beer, which the Spanish one I've used in Cancun before. Una cerveza, por favor. You say it kind of nicely, put a little roll in the tongue possibly. You ever go to Czech, you ever go Dutch, the Italian, over in Italy. So that one for the Chinese might be Chingay Wue Bei Pijou. So, I don't know how the accents go. I'm just saying that's how it looks to me on there. But kind of a neat little thing there. Kind of cool. So, I don't know. Just some things I saw that I like to share. And if anybody is from those countries and they think they're different, let me know. But I just saw that earlier today. It made me laugh a little bit. Let me see here. Let me go back up to the comments. Gilbert said Red Cap is still available. It's still a beer. Nice. And Andrew said looks intentional. Well, no, I think it was a neighbor of that person. So I don't know if they were trying to turn around in their driveway or whatever and something slipped, but somehow they ended up in the living room. I don't know how that happens, but it did. And why would you have an 18-wheeler like that in a residential area anyway? I guess a neighbor drove it home and it was going to drive to deliver the next day or something. I mean, why would you be in a residential neighborhood with that? Just kind of surprising. Swift and Bourbon Bounty's in the house. What's going on, Bounty? Cheers, my friend. Good to see you. Another great channel. You guys want to know about whiskey? Make sure you check out Bourbon Bounty. He's another great guy that knows all the good whiskey stuff and can break a lot of that down. He does, obviously, mostly bourbon. That's why bourbon is in his channel name. But great stuff over there as well. Ron said not owned by Carling anymore to Eric. Andrew's laughing, right? Yeah. It's how do you do that? It's I don't understand it. Okay, a guy drives a truck and they get stuck under a bridge. Okay, you didn't know how tall, maybe what you were pulling, how tall it was, the rig that you were pulling behind you, right? That can make sense, You slide off the road because maybe it's too wet. And how do you run your truck into a house? How do you do that? I don't know. I got that down. I know how to order beer. Never kept me down in any of my travels. Well, yeah, I bet, bourbon. I bet. Bourbon's a world traveler. Let's see here. Hey, what's going on, Chris? Cheers. Welcome. Kind of new here. What do you think about Yuengling going nationwide? Actually, I grew up in South Jersey on the East Coast. I went to school in West Virginia, which by the time I was drinking, I was just south of Pittsburgh. So I was getting Yuengling back then. But I think it's kind of interesting. I mean, it's nice because a lot of people have wanted to try Yingling, so now they're able to get that chance to do it. The thing with Yingling is, like, to get some of their key beers, you have to almost go to the brewery because they're not going to bring those all out in the distribution that I'm aware of. But like the Black and Tan, I like the Black and Tan once in a while. The Pilsner is an okay Pilsner. It's pretty decent. They have the light and they have the flight, which are two light type beers, depending on carbs, which one you choose. They're okay. I mean, they're not going to be, I think some people maybe a little, I don't say disappointed, but they're not going to be to the level some people are expecting because they've heard all these good things about Yuengling over the years. It's just Yuengling's a solid beer. So it's kind of nice that they're expanding across the board. I don't think they're going to have to change anything under their agreement. You always wonder when they get taken by somebody else if they're going to have to change anything up or like that. Texas is the first state west of the Mississippi. I think they're supposed to get it, and that's the fall of this year. So it'll be interesting to see them roll out, but good for them for finally getting out to the other parts and being able to share beer and be able to do that. Let's see here. And what do you think about them actually expanding? Are you actually one of the states getting the beer coming in that you're looking forward to trying it, or just kind of curious about that there? Let's see. Bourbon says, Chris, I'm drinking Yuengling right now. More people should be able to enjoy it. There you go. See, this is an easy drinking beer. But Bourbon, did you tell Coors you were drinking Yuengling? Because you're usually Coors, right? That's usually your thing. Coors might get upset. They find out you're drinking. Well, actually, Coors has Yuengling now, so I guess you're okay. So that's how they're able to go west. James in the house. What is going on, James? Cheers, brother. What is happening? It's my homie JT up in the Chicago area. One of the great guys I got the chance to develop a friendship with over the years. And we actually met up when I was in Chicago and had some great beers and great food. And I miss that place. I wish I had Exchequer Pub here where I'm at. Such good food, such good beers. And, when you go to Chicago, obviously, you joke about Chicago and the winters they have. They give you like these huge portions of food. I'm talking almost like Fred Flintstone type portions up there. And the food is all great. A lot of good comfort food. You got the beers. I mean, if I had to be stuck in a city in winter, it'd be cold as hell, but you'd be so comfortable in Chicago with all the good food and the drink you have around. You'd just be like, stay inside and stay warm. Noah Perron, owned by Brick Brewing. Carling was brought up by Molson for Black Label and OV brands. That's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And I got a review coming for you there, Gilbert, too, because I finally did pick up a Molson Triple X that I'm going to do a review on. I did the review. I haven't posted it yet. Hey, what's going on, Thrash? Cheers, my friend. Y'all don't know Thrash Metal, Homebrew, and Barbecue. Make sure to check out Thrash. Brian does some great stuff over his channel as well, especially if you're considering home brewing. He does some great brew days, sharing the brewing recipes and breaking down the brewing of the beer. So, and always willing to help people out and stuff. So, great guy. Make sure you check him out. Check him out, not up. Yuengling is very similar to Old Style. I haven't had Old Style in a long time. Yuengling is getting released here in February. May try if they're singles. So there you go. Yeah, you can try it for the singles. Honestly, Canadian prices, you guys get screwed sometimes, but a 6-pack of Yuengling is like $7.99 or something here, so it's not really expensive at all. Bourbon said he switched. Uh-oh. A little falling out there with Coors Bourbon. A little falling out. I got a 12-pack of their Black and Tan from a friend years ago. Good stuff. Yeah, Black and Tan is the one I like the most from them. There are some I would like to try, but I have to wait till I go back to the East Coast to try to get those, like their Lord Chesterfield and a few other things you can get at the brewery or in that area. I would like to try at some point. Yeah, Yuengling. Yeah, it's good. Good stuff. Good stuff. Gained weight every year since I moved here. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. In Chicago, you got the food and you got the drink and you pick up the weight. But I think it's to help you in the wintertime because you guys do have to hibernate a little bit in the winter because it gets so freaking cold there. Usually. They had a triple XL. It's funny because I just saw it there and I'm like, I'm I'm going to get this Molson Golden Triple X because I heard other people asking me about it, and I just had never done it, and I don't really see it as much unless I go to Jungle Gyms. I'm like, why not? We'll give it a shot. So now, I'm not saying that's the finest of the Canadian beers I've had. I'm just saying I picked it up because that's like some of the guys that mentioned the Triple X. I don't expect more than a domesticated beer. Well, there you go. And then with that, you're good to go. You're happy there. So that makes up for that. And then, the one thing I was thinking of earlier was, it's funny. So as some people know, I don't really drink the Founders beer as much because of issues they've had there in Michigan. And I actually know the person that was involved in the litigation that was against them, and some of the stuff that I found out and some of the things released from people there. But it's kind of funny. They actually just came out and sponsored the Philadelphia 76ers, who are basically 700 miles away from where they're at, rather than in Detroit. And you have to wonder, like, you've got the Pistons in Michigan, but people know Founders has had some issues of race that they've had to deal with. But you're going to Philadelphia. You're not going to go across to like Minnesota where you have the Timberwolves, and you're not going to go to some of the other ones, Indiana Pacers, other places that are closer, but you're going to Philly to kind of be a sponsor with the Sixers, which is a dominant, I would say, is growing up outside Philly, there's a mix of people there, but it is one of the cities that has a larger Black population. And it's kind of like, I feel like Founders always seems to miss something that doesn't click with them at times. Like, do you not see how this may look like kind of like a pandering type thing or whatever it may be? It's kind of like, it's just a weird type feel that they would actually go to Philly than rather handle situations in places that are closer to them. Like I said, you can go to Indianapolis, which has a good population. You can go to Detroit, which has a population. But you're going to go over to Philly, where maybe you're far enough that people don't realize the issues you've had there. And I don't know, I see stuff like that, and that's one of the reasons why I'm just not drinking Founders as much anymore. And you don't see the Founders, like I had one of the guys ask about the Founder reviews on the channel and stuff like that, because he had pulled Founders off of his channel. And it's like, he pulled them off, he unlisted them, I should say. So they're still there. If Founders ever, he felt satisfied coming back, he would release them. But I was like, I just never thought about it. But it's kind of like, I see them doing stuff. And the thing is, I like Founders. I like their beers. I knew people at Founders that I had good relationships with. But until they can change their management team, I don't see how they get over the issues they're having. When I see stuff like this, it's just kind of weird on how they're handling stuff. And it's kind of like, I don't know. They brought in somebody else after their last diversity manager blasted them online about what she was dealing with there. And I don't know if the other person is trying to take up the mantle or what, but it's just kind of one of those weird things I saw this week. And Founders on Twitter, it was funny because I found out from other people, they were blocking people off their Twitter page because they were hammering Founders on stuff on Twitter. Now I guess they kind of stopped that, but people were getting blocked if they criticized Founders on things. So it's kind of a whole interesting thing. I just don't know if I'll ever get back to Founders, which sucks because I see some of the stuff they're doing out there, and it's like, I just can't buy it yet. So if you ever wonder why I don't have Founders on here, there's definitely some issues there that I probably won't have Founders for a good amount of time. So that's just kind of an interesting type thing. So I'll keep an eye on them. But another thing I saw, Anheuser-Busch, they actually canceled an investment. They were going to invest $165 million into the government over there, but they banned alcohol sales for a third time to control coronavirus. Alcohol just keeps getting we're not banning it here, but you can't go to places after a certain time because of alcohol. Now you have countries that do ban. They ban the alcohol to try to bring down the coronavirus. And it's like, I don't know. I've been drinking alcohol just fine, and I have not come close to getting corona. So is there something that I don't know? Like, do these people feel like corona is going to be the thing to actually bring corona in or something? Because I can tell you, it's not happening to me, and I'm not stopping drinking alcohol. So I saw that. I just thought that was kind of funny how they're just like, we're just going to ban it all. We're shutting it all down. no alcohol because of the Rona. So interesting, just interesting. So those couple tidbits I saw this week that I found funny. Let me take a look here. Oh, speaking of funny, I was going to share a video with you guys here in a second. Get this here. Bourbon says, Thrash, it is confirmed this is where the cool kids hang out. Thanks, Bourbon. Oh, 7 USD is 12 Canadian. Wow. Yeah, it shouldn't be 12 Canadian for Yingling anywhere. 12 anything. I wonder what they charge you for hams if you had a hams up there. If it's $14.99 here for a 30-pack, what do you got to pay up there, like 20-something for hams? Which would seem outrageous. Not cold lately. We've had a string of really mild winters, only a week or two of Arctic temps. Nice. Yeah, we're actually lower now than we should be. They were talking about that today. Like, we've had less snow than some of the other places that are warmer climates than we are. Really weird, but I'm not hating on it. I'm not hating on it at all. Cheers, Bourbon from Thrash. And with you and one of the founders. Yeah, it's just, everybody's got to make their own decision how they do that. Like I said, I liked Founders. I liked their beers. They had some beers that were some of my favorites, and it's just like, personally, I can't mess with them. So there's a lot of people I know that kind of feel that way, but it is what it is. I enjoy a macro from time to time at Bourbon Bounty, as long as it's not too sweet. Well, there you go. Nothing wrong with a macro too now and then, like an adjunct lager, just a nice, easy drinking beer, just to throw one back. We go to some of the places if we're at a hotel or something, and they might have a Yingling or something on tap. I'll grab a Yingling and throw it back. Or usually I don't get like a Bud. If it's a Miller, once in a while I like a Miller High Life. I'll drink a Miller High Life and kick that back. A Pabst, I'll do a PBR. So. I go to Macros or High Life and Coors Banquet. I haven't had a Coors Banquet in a while, Chris, but Coors Banquet is another one that's decent. So, which is funny. Every time I hear Coors Banquet, I think of Smoking the Bandit, because anybody that's seen Smoking the Bandit, what Snowman was actually taken in the first movie was Coors, the Coors Yellow. So they were basically bootlegging the beer across country. Maybe that's when I started to fall in love with beer, when I saw that movie as a kid. It's not sweet. It's a watery compared to real beer, but bold flavor compared to Coors Light. Nice. A good beer to take to my brother's place at Bourbon Bounty. There you go. Drink it up. Drink all you want of that. Hey, TK, what is going on? Cheers, my friend. Welcome, brother.
Welcome.
If you guys don't know TK, another great guy to check out. He's doing the beer reviews as well. A little newer to the beer community now, so make sure you show him some love. He has some great stuff. I try to catch up with everybody as much as I can on videos, so I apologize if I have not caught up recently, but I am trying to work. And you guys all know that I have a YouTube channel. If you're planning stuff on a YouTube channel, that takes time away. So if you're working and you have that, plus you always have to get the family time in as well. So always a lot of stuff taking place. But I do try to watch you guys as much as I can, too. Gilbert, LOL. And COVID problem is drinking in the bars in public. I still won't go into one of those tents outside bars or restaurants. Yeah, that's a big part of it, because here's, like, people will ask, well, why can't a restaurant stay open to 11 and a bar at 10? In reality, as people drink more alcohol, their inhibitions drop. And so they're more friendlier. You're probably less likely to keep your mask on. You're probably having conversations. You're doing all kinds of. So I can see where that would be the case along those lines. But to just ban it outright, I think it's kind of crazy. But so I can understand it. But it's the same. It's like, spread out the tables. People are trying to spread out the tables so they can try to accommodate somewhat of a way to handle things, right? So you try to do that, but yet you're still shutting stuff down. So it's a weird thing, but I have not been to a restaurant since last March, so March of 2020. The last major gathering I went to was the beer festival that Todd and Shani came up to and Eric came down to, that we had in Cincinnati, which was actually the weekend before everything went haywire with Corona. If it would have been another weekend, it would have canceled it. So we were lucky to get that in. But it's a crazy world that we're in right now. So you got all this stuff that's out there happening, and unfortunately, these companies are struggling with it. It's funny, I was talking to my wife earlier. One of the companies locally, a local restaurant, reached out to me. They wanted me to sit down with them and talk about doing some stuff, maybe with beer that they were doing, and wanted to invite me over for lunch at the restaurant, all that stuff. And it's like, my wife's like, she didn't want me to go because, we have to watch out for the COVID, health, and all that kind of stuff. But it's like, I have to put it on hold right now. Or, I don't even care about the free lunch. Like, we could do something like online or something like that, but everybody's got to take the precautions you got to take. So it's kind of crazy. Government going mad with Rona rules. I don't know. I wouldn't say that we're going mad. I think there's definitely the precautions that government is taking. Is it too much? No one knows because nobody knows the full science of the whole thing. I mean, I'd rather be safe than not. I mean, but, one of the guys I work with, he's been fighting Corona the last week, and he ended up picking it up, he thinks, at his kid's baseball practice. So they were separated. The kids had baseball practice, but one of the kids had it or whatever and got passed through, and he ended up picking it up. Outside of that, he had been wearing a mask. He'd been not really going to anywhere but the store or whatever, but wearing a mask when he did that. I know other people that have picked it up that see that they did everything they were supposed to do. So I don't know. How do you guard against it? I mean, if it's something where it might be just airborne at this point too, you might not be able to guard against it. They just have to get all the vaccinations out and hope they all work, I guess. Eric, Miss Molson Export, Green Label. Back in high school, we had the Molson Export back in the day. Give me a Diablo sandwich and Dr. Pepper and make it snappy. Hams would be 45 for a 30. Oh, my God. Hams was a beer that disappeared after the 85 Brewers strike in Ontario. Oh, wow. So Hams was there at one point, but then the strike ended up getting it out. Interesting. Eric, I buy 30 packs of Hams for 15. See, there you go. $14.99. But he's the Hams spokesman, so he gets the Rod J deal on the Hams. Guys, it was fun to hang out for a few minutes. Allstate acquired my company, and I have been scarce on social media. I'm trying to learn a new set of. Oh, cool. Well, thanks for being here, Bourbon. It's funny. We actually do a lot of work in my company with Allstate, so we'll have to catch up sometime and talk offline about some of the things that we do there. I've been to some breweries, and they have been good with the social distancing. Would have to see the destroy all. I would hate to see destroy all small business. Guys, support them any way we can. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I've picked up stuff from small breweries to still show support that way. One thing I'm guilty of myself is a lot of times I'll go to some of these stores because everything is confined in one place, right? If I go to one of my local stores, the Party Source or Jungle Gyms, I have all these different breweries at my fingers so I can get all there. But I forget sometimes it's better to go to the brewery because that helps them out more if you're going straight to them rather than going to like that store, which is like the third man or whatever. So I need to go more to breweries. If anything, even to have it pick up because we have a lot of curbside business at breweries that we have here now. Some of them actually deliver. So anything you can do to support them is always great as well. Always great, but I can't hang out like I used to. Bourbon's getting. Are you getting old on us, Bourbon? I bet Bourbon's going to the 4:30 meal. Well, you can't go to the Bob Evans 4:30 anymore because people aren't going to Bob Evans as much. But maybe Denny's. Get the blue light dinner special. I get hams in Chicago. My local liquor store has a run-in special and a 6-pack of ham, 16 ounces for $4.29. There you go. Like I said, if you just want like a nice adjunct lager to drink a hams. 30-pack, $15.99 American. Oh, you're getting $15. See, we're $14.99 here. I will buy back after time positioning and transitioning. There you go. I'll be back. Yeah, you got everything going with that new stuff. So, yeah, definitely. It was great to have you in for a bit for sure, brother. I worked for a local beer distributor as a salesman until last September when they let me go. But when Rona hit our off-premise, sales went crazy. Wow. Yeah, it's well, sorry to hear that you got let go at the local beer distributor. One of my friends here in Cincinnati, he actually runs one of the distribution companies, and he distributes for like 14 or 15 breweries. But that's tough. That's tough there. But yeah, people were like getting stuff from other spots. Like actually, there was a report that came out, I think, 2 or 3 months ago, and they were showing how craft beer sales had actually increased from it. People were doing things like curbside or delivery or whatever. They're trying to social support for the community stuff. So people were just at home drinking as much. I think many people found that they could drink at home for less than going out too. So, so I think a lot of people fell into that as it relates to like bars and everything, you know. If the role of government is to regulate exercise, I can't read right now. Maybe these ABVs catching up to me. If the role of government is to regulate the excess of society, then the government isn't doing enough to protect us from ourselves. Yeah. I mean, you can't regulate everything for sure. So, and government should have to. There's a limit where government should actually be involved. The government is supposed to be kind of that fail-safe type thing. Like they're not supposed to do everything. So I feel like you can overextend as well. I live in Northern Ohio. I'm going to start smuggling hams into Canada. Sounds lucrative. Well, if you're going to smuggle, I tell you to pick up some cigarettes too, because cigarettes will probably be a good penny up there in Canada compared to what we can get. Because I'm in Southwest Ohio pretty much, and the prices here that I hear compare versus other places around the country, wow. It's like, I wonder if I could run Newports across to so-and-so. I'll probably make some good change. Export is still around, but Green Label is gone. A lot of old dudes that drink those dying off, Ron. Well, make Ron feel old, Eric, why don't you? Canadian bacon equals hams. Must be long-term poison, LOL, Eric. Oh, let's see here. So it was funny. I was watching a video earlier, and I was going to share it with you guys here if I can get it pulled up. And actually, there were a couple I was going to say. It's funny because I was doing the chug challenge previously. And if you guys saw me do the chug challenge, I was like, I didn't know how good I did chugging the beers that I actually chugged. I'm like, I feel like I didn't chug as fast as I could have did when I did the Das Boot, so to speak. So I ended up seeing a chug video, and I thought it might be something enjoyable to share with you guys here, because these guys know how to actually chug some beer for sure. Let me get it pulled up here. And we're going to blow it up full screen. And look at this guy. It's like before I get started and show the video, you know, if you're going to do a chug video, you got to have a hype man. And so this guy has a hype man right there, looking at him, staring him down, ready to cheer him on. And if you have a hype man, you can do about anything you think in the world because you got the hype man behind you. Let's just say, why is this guy got the hat on inside the house like that with no shirt on? I don't know what's going on here. But anyway, back to the video. Oops. Hold on. I hit a wrong button there. Give me a second. All right. What I wanted to do, I wanted to back it up here because this glass, not that guy. This guy right there was a 56-ounce glass. I have that glass. Or 53-ounce glass. I have that glass here. Look at this guy. He's got like a Tupperware pitcher. Killer dude. This guy's at Oktoberfest or something. Knocking it out. Where's Blake TV when you need him? Eyes up here, fellas. Eyes up here. Now, she was supposed to keep it in the glass, but I think she probably gets a pass there. What do you guys think about that? She didn't really keep it into the glass as much as she was supposed to, but she did all right there. Oh, let me see here. What we discovered during the pandemic, we can work from home and be more productive. Yeah, I said that before the pandemic. I've always felt I was working from home ahead of time, and I've always felt that you can save big bucks by drinking at home. I agree. You do save some money with drinking at home, and people learn to cook for themselves again. You know, everybody wasn't always ordering out as much. Although DoorDash and Uber Eats and all that kind of stuff is up on sales, they're saying. Virus is likely airborne, and it's damn if you do or damn if you don't. Most people don't know if they actually have it. The 20 people I know who got it have a clue they do the virus. Yeah, it's like I've had my one friend I mentioned I work with. He's on the back end of it now. The most he got to was kind of a little bit of breathing in the chest. My old boss, she had it. She was able to do okay. But it all depends on your makeup as well. Your underlying conditions, they play into it in your DNA. They found one guy they don't even think can actually get it. They tested his blood and stuff, and they diluted it like 10 times, and he still wasn't able to have the COVID affect him. So they're kind of looking at that as a possible solution to kind of, make doses off of stuff. So it's interesting. I have a Kosovo connection. I can get cigs for €1 a pack. LOL. There you go. Oh, Gilbert, you always into the P-Mills bacon, son. It's really the only way to drink a Miller Lite as quick as possible, right? The only way to do it. Mess up the aroma comment. The people I know who caught the aroma had no clue where they caught it. Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, well, the only reason my friend thinks he knows where he may have got it because that's the only thing he did out of the ordinary. And then other people I picked it up from that same event. But yeah, some people don't know there's people that are getting together doing stuff. You just don't know if you might get exposed, or maybe you haven't and you pass it to someone and you're not sure. You just don't know. Love me some hams, Herrick, 330 week. Ron does go through some hams. Anecdotal evidence is scientific evidence. Exactly. And check the Icebox people. Of course, I showed that video, and then Whiskey Scout shows up. Cheers, Robert. He always makes the best moments of videos for sure. Some nice sisters with her though. Where did you get your medical degree, Eric? Hey, Jules in the house. Cheers, Jules. Good to see you, my friend. I didn't see a beer or a woman there. Yeah, that was on the back end of the video. I didn't produce the video. I just watched it. I saw it, and I was like, "Oh, this is interesting." But yeah, it let me know my beer chug game. I need to step it up some because the one guy did the boot, and he didn't even turn it. He said, "There." Robert said, "You know it." He didn't even turn the boot when the air bubble came. He just took it all down. So I felt the air bubbles when I did it. But again, I haven't been a chugger for a long time, so maybe time's caught up with me some. And as I try to get this Knob Creek open, the wax seal, as usual, is being a pain in the you-know-what. So trying to get that turn here so I can check out some of this. But I saw that video and I said, well, that's kind of funny. So I'll share that tonight. And there's another video I was going to share with you guys here too, which is pretty funny as well. Now I will warn you, I'll share this next video, and probably after that, a little bit after that, I might stop. I don't know. We'll see where we're at on it. If you got a weak stomach, you might want to be a little cautious. So you might have to look away. But let's see here. All right, James. Good seeing you, brother. Have a good one, my friend. No degree, just what I've been told. There you go. Jules said, "Oh Lordy, whiskey stout." Well, you know how Scout is, Jules. So I was going through some other stuff, and this is one that is, this is why you always want to watch how much you drink, because you don't know where you might end up at, and you want to make sure you're always in your best position, right? Because if you're not, people will catch you on social media nowadays, and they'll share it to the world, and you might get embarrassed. So, just saying, got to be careful out there.
I commit to share. And
Oh, before I do this is actually from Anubis. If you don't know Anubis on YouTube, you can check out the channel ANUBIS. Surprisingly, he's only got like 178 subscribers, but he put this montage together. Oh, good Lord. God damn. Where are the friends? None of the friends are holding her up.
What?
Oh, and like that, the friendship ended. The friendship ended that quickly.
Shut the fuck up.
Play a little soccer? Want to play a little soccer? Third time, he should have stopped early. So you driving down the road, you see a guy standing here.
Not good. Too much drinking. Too much drinking, eh? Say.
The fence will hold me up.
Yeah.
He's waiting there like, help a brother out. You can't help me out. Help me up.
It's good.
See what's gonna happen here. Riding a bike when you're drunk is still DUI, right? Isn't it still driving under the influence? He's trying to walk it. Trying. Whoop. Poor guy. But Jules says, please don't be me. Please don't be me. This is not good. When you can't find it, it's an issue for sure. I don't think he's ever going to make it, though. Oh, God. I think he decided to hold it. Is that the window open? It's like a microwave. Oh. this guy isn't even drinking. He's just at work. And you got people watching him. Y'all not going to tell him? Y'all not going to let him know? Y'all not going to warn him?
Hey!
Oh. That is somebody's paycheck. Oh. What else can you do besides sit there at that point and just look at it? Oh, there's more. Anything else? Oh, Lord. The sack camera's way too big for him. And he's going to try to have a beer. Oh, that didn't work out. That didn't work out. I don't know what's going on in the dark here, but it's something crazy, I'm sure. What is happening? Somebody turn off their light? Oh, poor old fella. He tried to drink the breath of life. He tried to drink it. That's no good. Where's she going? Whoa. Wrong guy. Just having a bad day. So from another angle, this is like Monday Night Football. It's at the U. That's Miami. That's not at the U. A little inebriated. Look, she's like, don't grab me. You about to fall. Don't grab me. Don't touch me. What's he have in his shoes? It was only a matter of time before he went down. Oh, man. Yeah, I think at that point you just got to leave them there. So, just another reason why you want to drink responsibly when you're out there. So, just a little Thursday night humor. I thought I'd share it with you guys. A little bit of fun, and hopefully that puts a smile on your face as you get ready to head into Friday the next day. I think I'm going to go ahead and get this baby wrapped down. Thanks for everybody that definitely tuned in. Let me see here some final comments. TK said, Rod did the boot challenge, and I must say I was cognizant of the bubble and kept thinking about it. Didn't want a beer facial on a video. I should have went with a nice light Hefe. So did you record the video? Do you have it to actually on your channel to check out and everything? I like to see what you did on it. Let me see here. Yeah, soccer was not that guy's game. And Houston, we definitely had a problem with that. But in the age of social media, just a reminder to make sure you drink responsibly out there. I just want to know who was creeping around in the men's room with their camera. That was a little concerning. I didn't know how far that was going to go, but it was already up like on YouTube. So I'm like, I'm pretty sure he didn't pull anything out because YouTube would have flagged it. So, but at the same point, poor guy couldn't even find it to even try to do anything apparently. And I think he just probably went on himself at the end because I was never thinking he ever got back up. Jules says, holy moly, right? This says, I drank too many $12 Coors Lights. Hold me up, bro. Yeah. You can definitely overdo it. And Julie has the cheers and the peace and everything there. And cheers, Robert, my friend, as well. And Gilbert, yeah, good night, fool. Stay safe. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this baby up. Thanks for everybody that tuned in. Hopefully you get to check out some of the other people here as well. Like I said, Beer Day with TK came in. Another great beer channel, so make sure you check him out. He's also newer to the beer community. And I look forward to catching up with you guys soon. I may turn around and do something tomorrow. I've got different days highlighted for different things. I haven't decided yet, but try to do some more things for the live streams as well. So, guys, make sure you subscribe, hit that alarm bell so you're notified. And I look forward to catching up with you guys soon. Keep drinking those good craft beers. And remember, there's always time. Get your beer on. And before I go, yes, this is on my channel. Time was okay. Could do better. Awesome video chat live. Have a great weekend, everyone. Or great evening, everyone. Well, thanks, TK. I'll definitely check that out as well. And, yes, everybody have a great Friday. It is the weekend. And hopefully you guys have some great things planned. And look forward to sharing some more videos. I got one more beer left for the Lindemans. I'm going to post for tomorrow. That's going to be the Strawberry Lambic. And then I'm going to have other beers after that you guys can check out. So thanks again, everybody. Look forward to catching up with you guys soon. Keep drinking those good craft beers. And remember, there's always time. Get your beer on. Cheers, everybody.